massive. Yeah, but have you seen the size of this horse? The horse is tiny. Quick, look at the size of that duck. That duck's massive. Oh my God, look at the size of this horse. That horse is tiny. Oh my God, look at the size of that duck. That duck's massive. Yeah, but have you seen the size of this horse? The horse is tiny. Oh my God, look at the size of that duck. That duck's massive. Oh my God, look at the size of this horse. It's a duck-sized horse.
There we go. That's
fantastic.
So that special introduction has been sent through from Angry Tom. We might have to ditch the angry prefix now.
Can we use that as our?
But you've just heard it on the podcast.
Forward,
yeah.
That's brilliant.
There we go.
Tom, fair play.
I think that's Ducks for Life, surely. Rewriting a theme tune for a podcast.
I reckon we need to do him a duck, don't we?
So, little preface to that is apparently that's what he sings along to the normal theme song.
Is it?
In the
okay.
In the cut. That's lyrics and words.
That is superb, Tom.
By Tom. Fantastic,
amazing. I've got to be honest.
That's great. Yeah, it's really, really good. He did also include it with a rant about honey in the email as well. Okay. So points off for that. But thank you very much. Hello, and welcome.
Welcome to episode 33 of Duck-Sized Horses podcast, the comedy podcast, which aims to hopefully answer the would you rather questions you've always wanted answered. I'm Nathan Haratt.
And I am Jack Higgins.
How are you, sir?
Well. Had a weekend full of adventures, travelling,
been out and about,
all around the county. So, some less planned diversions along the way, but here we are at DSH HQ.
Easy for you to say.
And we're ready for episode 33.
We are.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Good.
It's been a very long week, but I'm good. Right, just before we crack on with the question, as Jack said, a little bit of housekeeping and admin. Thank you to everyone that's got in touch, especially Tom.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that.
Big thank yous.
That is brilliant. And as we said, we'll use Tom's sort of rendition of our theme tune. Is that the right phrase?
Yes.
From now on. So
yes.
Thank you, Tom, for that. Thank you to everyone else who's got in touch, sent questions, got involved in the competition. We'll talk about that a bit later because there's a slight sort of difference in terms of the competition winner.
Yes,
they're getting a duck, but maybe not for the reason you would naturally
expect. It's still a good.
It's a very lovely reason, and we'll talk about that a bit later. Last bit of admin from me is just the scores. They are currently, and we've had a little question about this because just sort of pre-recording, I was trying to do the maths, and maths isn't really my strong point, Higgins.
No, neither's mine.
But it didn't add up. I thought I was querying it
literally.
So I make the scores. Nathan Haratt 18, Jack Higgins 15, but I'm not sure if they are the exact scores. It could be Nathan Haratt 17. The thing I'm certain of, and this is going to sound incredibly egotistical, I'm pretty confident I'm winning. I'm not sure how large my lead is.
You're definitely winning.
But if you're happy to go for 18-15...
Let's do it. I think that's what we said in episode 32.
Yeah, I mean, I'm delighted to go for 18-15, to be fair. So.
Let's roll with it.
So that is the scores. 18 to me, 15 to you. I take this far too seriously, the scores. We're not even... There's no, trophy or any kind of thing to be attained from this lead. It's purely hypothetical.
Maybe a title. But there's no season.
No.
So there's no
There's no league. We're not competing against anybody else.
It's just a month by month thing.
Yep, but I'm still winning. But yeah, that's everything from me, sir. So
amazing. Well, in that case, it's time to crack on with the questions. Now, you said a minute ago it's been a bit of a busy old week.
It has. It has been a very busy week.
Busy weeks on both parts. And would you only Adam and Eve it? We've forgotten to put a poll up this week.
We have.
So there's no. There's nothing from you at home.
No.
I mean, you could have taken the initiative.
Yeah,
and cracked on with it yourselves.
We can't do all the work.
Exactly. So, episode 34. I've said it a couple of times. I'll say it again. Pull your finger out and start pulling your weight a bit.
Maybe Tom could do it.
Maybe. Yeah, guess that's. Oh, imagine that. Again, that would have to be a good few ducks for life.
Absolutely.
For that one.
Absolutely.
For guessing the question that we're going to chat about, and then accurately predicting the polls for the question that hasn't even been posed.
I mean, yeah, fantastic. It's not difficult or anything.
Speaking of the question,
yes, mate.
Let's dive straight into it then. So the question for episode 33 is: would you rather have a teleporting TV or a teleporting book? I.e., you'd end up in the story location of the thing you were watching or the thing you are reading.
Okay.
So Nathan Harat, you have the floor.
Thank you. Well, it's a difficult question, actually, because we have done a bit of teleporting before, haven't we, in one of the questions? I know not to do... I think it was farts and sneezes, wasn't it?
I think that was it, yeah.
High caliber stuff. So I did kind of think a little bit about that, but I went for teleporting book. Just because I feel like... I'm just going to sound quite kind of silly, but here we are, Higgins, 33 episodes in.
I think sounding silly is gone way out the window.
I think that
anyway.
ship may have sailed a good few times. I just feel that the literary world would be more kind of interesting than the TV world. In my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess you've got like your own perception of stuff. Yeah, so you've got your own imagination to roll with.
It's like you're reading my notes, Higgins. Because I was saying it'd be more interesting because I think it's more open to your own interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
So my sort of imagination and my perception of a story location within a book might be different to yours.
Yeah.
It may have some of the elements, the sort of key elements, but you may visualise, say, Hogwarts, for example, different to how I do. So it would be a more kind of personal.
Would if it's already been made into like if a book's been made into like a film or a TV program, would that automatically be a perception of it, or can you like imagine something different? I guess because they omit quite like a few things from the books.
Yeah, true. They leave bits out, don't they? I think
like in Harry Potter, they don't have in the films they don't have the Peeves the poltergeist.
No,
that was going to be played by Rick Mail, I think. And then I think they filmed it. They filmed all his bits, and he got paid for it. And then, there's a good bit on YouTube where he said, "Yeah, they paid me loads and loads of money," and then they cut it out, and he was like,
"What? There's a question in here somewhere. What were the reasons? Why did they cut it out?"
I think it was like it's part of it, like obviously part of the story.
Yeah,
but there's not too much that it adds.
I suppose it's not integral.
Like every time he pops up in a book, it's always just for like a silly couple of chapters where they've got to go and get something back from him, and he never really offers up that much in regards to the main story.
Yeah.
In a way.
So I think
I'm going to get told off by all the Harry Potter fans and be like, "He did, he did this."
They'll be writing in as we speak. I kind of like you were saying about. I think it would be so you teleport into the book story. How you imagine it, not how if it's been made into a film, how the film sort of portrayed it. And also, I kind of why I didn't want to go for the teleporting TV thing is because, and this is the question that I can kind of ask you, I suppose. With no one else to ask, is there? When you teleport into the TV, do you become sort of accessible to everyone? So everyone watching that program will then see you suddenly crop up in the background, or.
I mean, it could be quite awkward depending on what you're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're like, I don't know, if you're watching like a gritty crime thriller.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, there's like something nefarious, like a murder happening.
Yeah.
And then you just, just come in the door. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And would you...
Put yourself in instant peril.
Yeah, that's that kind of thing. But also, would the, what's the word? Actors. And such within the TV program, would they be able to interact with you? Would they notice you?
I think so.
It's kind of
like
a little bit,
kind of like a non-playable character, an NPC in a video game, where you can walk up to them and like interact with them, but they don't really have a part of the story.
Is it a bit like have you seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? When Mike TV gets like beamed into the TV, would it be very
tiny
much like that?
Yes,
tiny and. So when you say tiny, do you mean like I don't mean like small, but like would you be to scale?
Oh, you'd be to scale on the TV.
Actors, yeah.
But if you were to come back out of the TV, I think you'd be tiny.
Okay.
And then they'd have to stretch you out like they did in Willy Wonka.
DSH podcast headquarters is just falling apart around us. Another sort of point, how do you get back?
I guess you've got to watch TV, or maybe this could be like a crossover thing. Because, we said, would you like, in episode whichever one it was.
Yeah.
Again, do the hard work. Go back and listen to it. You can figure it out. Where we were chatting about, would you like to have a film made of your life?
Yeah.
Or star in a film of your life? Maybe you'd have to watch the film, of your life to get back into it.
Okay.
Or read your own autobiography to get back into it.
That your
then you get caught in a loop.
Of your life would have to include the moment where you
out
of it.
I know it's like the time travel paradox thing. Where if you travel back in time and shoot yourself before you jump in the time machine, what happens then?
I have no idea.
Exactly. Well, here we are. Yeah. Paradox time already. We're only a few minutes in.
That's made my head hurt.
And we've completely destroyed. I think that moment wouldn't exist. It'd be like on a parallel.
Because I suppose it's a similar question in terms of the book. How do you teleport yourself back to the real world? Do you just finish the book and then once the book's finished, come back, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the end of the book, you're back where you were.
See,
as soon as the characters go on and start doing their own things.
Yeah.
Like again, Harry Potter. Once Hogwarts saved. Sorry, spoilers and things.
Spoiler.
Once he goes to do his normal boring 9 to 5 working at the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
And I don't know, other things, pop into the shops. Getting a car MOT'd and all that stuff.
All the nightmare stuff,
Yeah. Once he gets on with that, it's not real much else going on.
Yeah, true.
So,
also, I was kind of thinking...
I think you can be relieved of duties then.
Yeah. Do you, when you sort of pick the story that you want to teleport into, do you teleport into the actual story? So what I mean by that is, when you're there in that world, does the story play out as it would in the book if you were just reading it? Or is it just you're in that world going about sort of day to day life?
I think, you can... You'd almost be like a background character, so you'd have to sort of mill around the main story, but not be part of it. So you could still go about and do your things.
So you're not influencing the story in any way.
No, the story still carries on as is
written.
But you're there. You're there in the moment.
Yeah,
living the dream.
I also think it would be like there's more scope to be I feel like and obviously it depends on the story that you're reading, but I feel like the story worlds are a bit more safer than the TV world.
Again, it depends what you're reading.
So I was thinking like if you got put in like an Enid Blyton story, they're generally quite safe.
True.
Depending on the sort of the
I know there's always like a gang of
perils and stuff.
A gang of smugglers trying to like
smuggle.
Steal parrots or something.
Yeah. And I was thinking that with like Swallows and Amazons as well, there's still an element of peril, but it's quite a safe world. Or I've got another, it's a bit of a niche reference, but I also thought like Harry McClary. Have you ever read those?
Harry McClary?
Have you not read them?
No.
Higgins, they're great books.
What's Harry McClary when it's at home?
It's a book about dogs, or a dog I should say, called Harry McClary and his friends. And again, there's an element
good name for a dog.
Element of peril to it, but not like super danger. And I kind of feel like it'd be a good opportunity to just cuddle some dogs.
That would be nice.
And feel kind of safe.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
So I think that's my entire argument, really. I mean, it's not the strongest.
See, right.
Here we go.
Okay, here we
go.
I've gone the other way, but for a similar reason for your final one. So I'd like to have a little teleporting TV.
Yeah.
So you can jump in, and the same thing would work. You'd be there in the moment.
Yeah.
But if you ever been watching like MasterChef or something, and you're like, oh, that looks good. I'd like to give that a try. Oh, bang! There we go.
That's genius.
You're straight there.
That is genius, actually.
Sunday brunch.
Nice.
When they're all lining up and they're all getting trolleyed at 11 o'clock in the morning, trying different gins that taste like air fresheners and all that. There.
That's
bang.
Genius, actually.
And they'd all look around like Tim Lovejoy and all that. They'd look around and who are you?
Yeah, that's a great.
Oh, sorry, I was watching the thing. There were like it like 12 o'clock. Once the band start playing, whoever you've got on is on. I'll be disappearing.
Head off, yeah. That's a great. And to be fair, like
we were. Can I have a bit of this?
We were watching the football, weren't we? Just before we came on air, and I was saying to you about all the empty seats. And I suppose I'm thinking if you're the team you support playing and you're not able to get to the ground, and it's on telly, for example, and there's empty seats, I suppose you could just.
There were lots of empty seats there.
There were lots. Yeah.
Yes, he had.
There were.
So yeah, you take your pick. You could have 2 seats.
That's fantastic, actually.
You
may have won, to be honest.
Yeah, is that it? Just on that basis alone. But no, I think it'd be quite good. Obviously, if you were watching something horrible, or like something with a lot of like thriller and suspense, in it, then I guess that could be quite unnerving.
Yeah.
But would I be allowed a almost like a time delay, so I could flick through the channels?
Yeah.
And then once I found something I wanted to watch and be part of,
be involved.
That's when I could go through.
Yeah, I suppose you could, and I guess maybe there's potential. Like, say you're watching a series of something.
Could I skip ahead episodes?
You could, or say you're watching like a series, as I say, and you're going to be out on the evening that it's coming on, like the next episode. You could go in the week before and say, look, can you hold off a little bit till like, can you not actually do the episode until like 10:30 or something till I'm back? It's like kill time.
Yeah.
And then once I'm back, I'll hop in as well, or I'll let you know I'm back and you can carry on.
Would I be able to jump into other bits like on catch up? Like if I was watching, because
that's a great question.
TV doesn't really. I was going to say it doesn't really exist anymore, but it doesn't.
I think you'll find.
No,
I see what you mean.
It's less popular as it once was.
Yeah.
In that, like you have to watch something at a certain time.
Yeah,
you can now watch it.
Set.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Whether you class catch up TV.
And then would I be caught in, say, like a box set of something if I was like binging it and streaming it in one go?
I suppose temporarily you would be, but I suppose maybe you'd be released from it once you finish the series, so you're not trapped in there forever.
Yeah, it could be quite a lot of peril involved. I'd say it was like Game of Thrones, which like goes on forever and a day, and it's a big, massive world to explore. And there's loads of different like storylines and little subplots going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you kind of just thrown into it. Then I guess you kind of, I don't know, it'd be a bit tricky to. Yeah,
I've just thought of something actually equally as tricky as that. What happens, right, if as you teleport into a program, say for example I teleport into a football match or something, as I was saying earlier, to fill one of the empty seats to watch the game. What happens if then, say my mum comes home and sees the telly's on and thinks, I'll just turn that off? What happens then?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because then I'm trapped.
You are. Maybe you're trapped in the TV until someone switches it back on.
Okay. Yeah, but then I suppose the program will have gone.
It's like a Schrodinger's cat thing.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's that world, like, obviously it's still, if or like a tree falling in the forest.
Yeah.
If no one's watching, if no one's watching that football match, is the football match
because I suppose like we're not watching the Man City Fulham game at the moment, but it's still carrying on.
Is it though? Because we.
Oh, stop it! I hate when you do that. Maybe if that situation was to arise and like mum turns the game off, maybe I'm brought back, but only within our TV screen. So I'm still there, but I could like knock on the glass and be like, turn it on again, and then once she turns it on.
So like reality, or like reality sort of disappears from around you, so you're just kind of sat in a void.
A bit like those, what would you call them? Like the simulator. Is it a simulator thing? They have them at Longleat, when it's a bit, you get in them and it's like a little box thing, and then on the screen is like a roller coaster ride, and then there's that like 2-minute period when the sort of projector screen stops and you're just sat there, and you kind of come round from. And then you open the door and you realise you've not moved at all, but you felt like you've gone miles, and maybe it'll be a bit like that.
Maybe.
So when someone turns the screen off, everything sort of shuts down for a bit, and you're just kind of left there.
That could be quite scary.
That could be really scary, actually.
Just stuck in a void.
It's generally making me feel a bit nervous.
Dear. Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of pitfalls. But then in the same way, if you were in a book and someone closed the book or took it back to the library.
Yeah, that's if it's rented. Yeah. That's fantastic, yeah.
Or if it was on a Kindle and someone switched a Kindle off.
Yeah, or the battery runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what if it's an audiobook and someone stops listening to that. Because was an audio book count?
I don't know if an audio. I'm thinking when you say Kindle, I'm not sure that would work either. To be fair, because in my mind,
someone
I was
else's
thinking
imagination.
paper book, yeah. But
Someone else is reading it. Someone else is already kind of
someone else has invested in
putting
it.
you there,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, no, I think that'd be quite nice. I guess you could like read a non-fiction book.
Yeah, true.
Like a history book, then you can go back and see.
I can see the history.
Yeah.
I quite like that idea.
So like you could read about the pyramids, and then you'd be back in like ancient Egypt.
True.
Seeing how they all did it. They'd be a little bit unnerved.
It'd be a surprise.
Like, whoa!
How would you arrive as well? Is it just like a puff of smoke and then like stars in the eyes slide indoors and you come through?
I don't even think it would be like a. Do you know what may happen? Have you ever been like anywhere and you sort of like someone just appears in the same room as you? And like, I had it last night actually.
Yeah.
We went to watch rugby yesterday. We went to a pub afterwards, and the landlord had closed the doors to the pub to stop more people coming in because it was quite busy after the match. And I popped to the loo, and there was a side door, and we were all stood by the bar by the front door.
Yeah.
So rather than fighting my way through the crowd and getting back to where we all were, I nipped out the side door and ran round, only to find that the front door was locked.
Ah.
And the landlord, because I had to go past the landlord who was stood outside having a cigarette, to get to the front door, and he told me, "Oh, it's closed. You can't go in." And I went, "Oh, okay, I'll go back in." And he was like, "No, where have you come from?"
Yeah.
Because
he was going to.
No, yeah. So maybe it's like that. Maybe you just like appear.
That's true.
Out of thin air.
Yeah.
Or you've had it in a room before when you sort of look around and like, whoa, where did you come from?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. Yeah.
So maybe it's like that. Maybe just like appear. But if you appeared in ancient Egypt and you're like, oh, where did you come from? And why? What clothes are you wearing?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just general day-to-day
nice
wear.
Hat, they might say.
Yeah, they might.
Would it be like, so the TV and the book are like portals, so maybe you teleport from your book into another book within the scene, if you know what I mean?
Maybe.
So like if I was in...
What happens if someone's reading a book on TV?
Oh, hello. Checkmate, I think there. I don't know. Well, I would come out of the book probably, and you'd just join the scene.
Well, maybe.
That's difficult. Yeah, that's a great question, that.
This question's asked a lot more questions than it has answers.
Yeah. It's a really difficult one to predict or to decide.
Oh dear.
Which way to go?
I don't know. I do not know. This is a very, very tricky one.
It's one of those ones. Do we go for a coin toss? Do we give each other a point, like a point apiece? I mean, to be fair, you were very convincing, so I'm almost...
I mean, if anything, because more often than not, I think you sat there and you're watching a cooking program and you look and you're like, oh, that looks really good.
Yeah.
You don't get as many of those moments when you're reading something.
That's
you
true.
Don't read anything and go, oh, I wish I was, that sounds great, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
Or if you were watching like a travel program, like when they take like Brits Abroad
like
kind of
Place
thing.
in the Sun and all that kind of,
And you're like, I could buy into that. That does look quite nice.
Yeah.
See that kind of thing.
I think I'm gonna concede to you there, mate.
Ah, yes.
I shall write the score.
It's got a point back. It's got a point back. My name is Jack, and he's got a point back.
I'm tempted to take the point away for that song, to be fair. Right, so 1816, mate.
Here we go.
He's back on a run.
Here we go. Fantastic.
Beautiful, mate.
Right, I guess we crack on with the end admin then.
Yes, end admin stuff. So competition, which Jack will explain what you're meant to do, what the sort of the norm is for it, in a moment. But just before that, we do have a winner for the competition.
We do.
Or we've given a signed rubber duck, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And who's it signed by, Jack?
Signed by me.
And me. Sorry, I asked you that as you were sipping tea. I realised that was a bit unfair on you. We have decided, after much sort of consultation, to give this person a signed rubber duck. And that person is Vance, who very kindly sent me a Batman rubber duck, which is amazing. And two of my favourite things, to be fair.
Batman and ducks.
Batman and ducks. So that's why we've decided to give him a duck, which we say isn't the normal sort of competition entrant.
Ah,
Well, I suppose technically it is, actually, yeah. What am I talking about?
He sent you in a duck-related
He
product.
sent me he has sent in a duck-related product. So he is a rightful winner. I take back everything that I just said in
Incredible,
that
yeah.
moment.
Thank you, Vance.
But Jack, if people want to enter the competition, what do they have to do?
You can send us in some duck or horse-related content. It could be a video, could be a picture. Normally, we started this off by saying a picture of a duck or a horse. A video, a picture. But this month we've had an actual rubber duck. And we've had an actual theme song.
We have.
For duck-sized horses.
Yes.
So, incredible. Thank you so much. In the past as well, we've had like a recipe for mock duck.
We have.
Yeah. And we've had some jokes and pictures and duck facts and all sorts sent in. So
we've been very lucky.
Send us in your favourite duck and or horse-related thing.
Yep.
And you can send them to where?
You can tweet them to us at DSH Podcast. Our Facebook page is Duck Sized Horses. You can email them to us at ducksizedhorsespodcast.com. ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, we won't get the email. And while you're on your various devices doing that, getting involved in our competition, we say it every episode, and I don't want it to lose its sort of value, because it is true. We really do love hearing from you.
Yes.
It's a great laugh. We always love hearing from Tom as well. We were talking about it off air. He's very passionate about our episodes, and it is lovely to hear from him. So we really appreciate you getting involved. And if you want to do that, do it on the same way. So tweet your questions for our spreadsheet of wonder, which spits out a question sort of about a week or so before we record. And then normally we make a poll. I say we. Normally Jack makes a poll, because Jack's very good at the tech side of things. And we love hearing from you on the poll as well. We
do indeed.
Those people that give up their time to vote on very, very, very trivial questions. But it's always great to hear your opinion. So if you think there's anything out there, duck or horse related, that we may have missed, that you want us to be made aware of, you want to sort of take issue with something that we've said in one of the episodes, do get in touch on the following ways. You can tweet us at DSH Podcast. Our Facebook page is Duck Sized Horses, or you can email us at ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. And while you're on your phone, tablet, computer, whatever you access the internet on, do check out our website, www.ducksizedhorsespodcast.com. There you'll see pictures of competition entrants if you're not sure the kind of thing that we accept. But as Jack said a moment ago, we're pretty kind of loose. We're not very strict, are we?
No.
On what we accept, but you can get an idea of previous winners.
You can find all our previous episodes.
You can. If this is your first episode, you're very welcome. It's lovely to have you, and you want to hear more of our ramblings, then you can go back and find all the episodes. And so there really is no excuse for missing an episode now.
Absolutely not.
They're all out there for you.
Perfect. Well, that's that then. Should we see what's on telly?
Let's go.
This podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or BritpodScene on Twitter to find out more.